Do you feel like no matter what, you're just tired? Are you drained after a training session? Are you relying on caffeine to keep you awake? In today's episode, I'm going to uncover 5 things that you're doing that are actually draining your energy. The good news is you can instantly turn these things around. So grab a pen and paper so you can take some notes and let's get into it. Tired of feeling exhausted after training? Confused about how to fuel your body without all the food rules? Welcome to Female Sports Nutrition, where I'll help you fuel strong, build muscle, and perform your best, all while breaking free from diet culture. I'm Kristen, a sports dietitian, trainer, and Jesus lover, and I'm here to help you fuel with freedom. Lace up your shoes, grab that smoothie, and let's jump in. Are you a female athlete looking to elevate your performance through better fueling? I'm here to help you set meaningful goals and tackle the challenges you're facing in your nutrition journey. Join me for a free, no-obligation consultation where we will discuss your unique challenges and aspirations, explore personalized strategies to enhance your fueling, and identify the best services to support you in achieving your goals. This is your chance to gain clarity and direction in your nutrition journey, no strings attached. I'll drop the link below for you in the show notes. All you need to do is click to schedule your free consultation. Let's work together to fuel your success and empower your athletic journey. So if you've been listening to this podcast at all, you've probably heard me mention that I have an autoimmune condition called Addison's disease. And with Addison's disease, I do not produce cortisol and I do not produce aldosterone, which is a hormone where it helps your body to reabsorb sodium or salt. And so when you become low on sodium or salt, you can become so tired because your body's just not operating optimally because it's not getting enough fluid or enough blood flow throughout the body. So one of the things that I notice when I am low on salt is that I become extremely tired all of the time. And we are actually in the heat of summer right now. Where I am, it's 90 something degrees. This past week, it was mid to high 90s in South Carolina at the end of June. And I know that we've had a heat wave come through and it's been extremely hot. And one of the things that I notice with a lot of female athletes is that they are not hydrating enough. So this is problem number 1. If you are not hydrating enough and you are not taking in the proper amount of electrolytes, you are going to be tired. I find, like I said, when I'm low on salt, I'm tired and my legs actually start to ache and I will get a cotton mouth feeling. And there's no amount of water that's going to solve that cotton mouth feeling for me. So what I have to do instead is take in some salt and take in water or some uncaffeinated fluid. The reason why you may be feeling tired when you're dehydrated is because you're simply not getting that blood flow throughout your body. You're not getting blood flow to your working muscles. And so therefore everything has to slow down because it's just not getting what it needs. That causes you to feel tired during training as well as after training and then just throughout the day. And of course, you're going to have a decrease in performance. Just a 2% reduction in your body weight from dehydration can translate to a 20% reduction in your performance. And that's all because of dehydration. So in order to hydrate properly, you need 2 things. You need water and you need electrolytes. The main electrolyte that we are talking about is actually salt or sodium, because that is the main electrolyte that your body is going to let go of, especially during training and especially when it's hot outside. So an easy fix here is to just take half of your body weight in ounces, and that's what you should be drinking as a minimum throughout the day. So if you weigh 150 pounds, that means that you should be drinking 75 ounces of fluid minimum per day. Now, if you are training, especially in hot and humid environments like it is here in South Carolina, you need to be taking in 500 up to 1,000 milligrams of sodium per hour of training. And what's more, if you are training out in that hot and humid environment, or you're just outside a lot, you should be putting electrolytes into your water that you're drinking on a regular basis as well. You don't need to do it a ton, but you certainly want to add it to maybe 1 or 2 beverages throughout the day. What I personally do is I actually make Sol water or Soleil water, however you want to pronounce it. It's spelled S-O-L-E. And that's just where I mix together salt. I use pink Himalayan salt in filtered water. So you are trying to fully saturate the water here with salt. So you actually add about a cup of salt to 4 cups of water. beware, it will be very salty, and a teaspoon of this salt water is going to contain about 480 milligrams of salt. So if you're looking to get in about 500 milligrams of sodium per hour, you really only need 1 teaspoon mixed in with your water. And you can also add in like a True Lemon packet or a slice of fruit or something like that to flavor your water. So it's not just straight up salt water. Personally, what I do is I put lime in my water with the salt water. And I actually have a client who calls this margarita water because it basically is like a margarita without the alcohol in it. And I kind of find it refreshing at this point. So if you're not adequately hydrating, you are going to feel very tired. Number 2 is skipping meals. I see this so often where people are like, well, I'm really busy and I didn't really think about packing food, or I have a lot going on and I just didn't have time to eat in between classes or work meetings, or I had, a training session and I wanted to go hang out with my friends after and I just didn't bring anything with me. This is a problem. When you skip meals, that is not giving your body enough of what it needs. And guess what? It's going to tank your energy levels real quick. And this is because your body's just not getting in enough calories. It's not getting in enough carbohydrates and protein to help you recover from your training sessions. And so then your muscles are not fully recovered for your next training session. And so you just start to feel your energy levels go down and down and down. So you really need to stop skipping meals. And the best way to do this is to actually just create a plan as far as when you're going to eat. So a great way to start to do this is when you wake up, eat within an hour, and then count off every 3 hours from there to have your next meal or snack. It's as simple as that. That's all you need to do. So if you wake up at 6 a.m., eat by 7, and then go ahead and eat again by 10, eat again by 1, you get the idea. So if you do make sure that you are eating consistently throughout the day, now your body's going to have a steady supply of energy throughout the day, and you won't have those energy lows and just feeling like you are barely making it throughout the day. Number 3 is caffeine overload. If you are relying on caffeine to give you energy, especially when you're not hydrating properly and you're skipping meals, well, guess what? You're going to get these caffeine crashes, because caffeine can give you a boost in energy. But at the same time, when you are taking in caffeine, it's also releasing cortisol, and cortisol is going to kind of give you this energy boost. But at the same time, you can certainly get an energy crash following that. With me having Addison's disease and my body not producing cortisol, I have to actually take steroids instead to replace the cortisol. I definitely feel this like at a much amplified version than anybody else that doesn't have Addison's disease, because when I drink caffeine, it feels like I never even took my medicine. And this can happen to people that are just drinking caffeine on a regular basis, probably not quite as severe as someone like me, but you can certainly get those crashes after you're drinking caffeine. If you're just having 1 cup of coffee, probably not a big deal. But if you're having multiple cups of coffee a day, or you're having multiple sources of caffeine a day, this can definitely happen. And so what you'll feel is very jittery, and then you'll just start to feel very tired afterwards. And then guess what? You have to drink more caffeine because you're starting to feel tired, and it's basically just perpetuating the cycle. So you need to actually stop the cycle, which means you need to cut back on caffeine. And the great part about cutting back on caffeine is that your body will actually become more sensitive to caffeine, so you really don't need as much the next time. It does take a little while for that to happen, like a few days or maybe even a week, but I promise it will happen. So what you can do if you're drinking a lot of caffeine, particularly from coffee, is you could just switch to decaf coffee. Decaf coffee does contain a little bit of caffeine, but it's far less than regular coffee. Or if you are doing sodas or something like that, you'll just have to simply cut back on them and replace it with some other drink that will satisfy you. Number 4 is overtraining. This is another thing that I see all the time, where I have girls come to me and they want to build muscle and they want to lose some body fat. This is always the scenario. And what I see is that they are training so much. And this might be you, where you're not taking a rest day at all. You're doing, 5-6 days of cardio, and then you're doing an additional 5 days of lifting on top of that. And then you're walking and doing all these other activities as well. And that is just simply too much on your body, especially if you're not eating properly throughout the day. If you're not allowing your body to recover, like you're not taking a rest day, or you're not allowing enough recovery time in between your training sessions, your body is going to let you know it, and you're going to feel it. So sometimes less is actually more. You're going to get more benefit out of doing a little bit less than by killing yourself. So like I said, if you're not taking a rest day at all, or you're doing 2-a-day sessions multiple times a week, or you're just waking up feeling like, oh my gosh, I have no energy, I can't even get out of bed, and your muscles are completely sore all the time, these are all signs that you are overtraining and you need to take a rest week and you need to slow down. Now, if you're following a plan that your coach or maybe a trainer is writing out for you, you might want to talk to them about taking a rest week or lessening your load because your body's just not recovering properly. I've definitely been in the overtraining scenario before. And what happened to me was I would have such a hard time waking up in the morning. I would try to drag myself to the gym. I would be very emotional. I actually one time cried on the squat rack. I put my head down on the squat rack and cried because I was so tired. And I just felt like I couldn't do it anymore. And my performance was decreasing. I wasn't able to lift as much as I normally was. I wasn't able to really think very well either. And I was just not happy throughout the day. I was really tired all the time. And it was because I was overtraining. So if those symptoms sound familiar to you, you need to lessen your load and potentially take a rest week to kind of get you back up to speed. All right, last and not least is stress and anxiety. This is number 5. Mental stress can really manifest as a physical symptom, and that can cause you to be fatigued a lot. And it can also reduce motivation. It could just make you feel like, I don't want to do anything. I can't do anything because your body is just so bogged down with stress and anxiety. Stress and anxiety can be from a number of things. It can be from financial stress. It can be from school. It can be from work. It can be that you are so consumed with what you're eating and what your body looks like. All of those things can absolutely lead to stress and anxiety, and it can absolutely take a toll on you. I know in times where I was very stressed out, I would feel my back hurting. And it was actually my adrenal glands just dumping cortisol. This was before I was diagnosed with Addison's, but now that I have Addison's and my body does not produce cortisol or very little, I can actually feel my adrenals trying to dump cortisol and I will get that back pain. Not all the time. That's very rare, but it does absolutely happen. And you may not feel that as a first sign of stress and anxiety. That's probably more of an extreme case. But if you do feel that, you know that's what it is. I've also had times where I was really stressed out and my hair was falling out and all I wanted to do was sleep. I didn't want to do anything else. These are all signs of stress and anxiety. And if you are noticing any of these in yourself, I actually want you to go back and listen to one of the podcast episodes that I did with a therapist, Jessica Saleh, on stress and anxiety and how you can overcome this. I will drop the link below for you on that one. Stress and anxiety doesn't just affect the brain. It really does affect your entire body, and it can absolutely cause you to have an energy crash. Just a couple things that you can do right now to reduce stress and anxiety is taking 10 deep breaths, journaling, or even just taking a shower or a bath where you can just relax and be with your emotions. All right, let's recap here on the 5 things that you're doing that are draining your energy. Number 1 is inadequate hydration. Number 2 is skipping meals. Number 3 is caffeine overload. Number 4 is overtraining. And number 5 is stress and anxiety. If you are struggling with any of these things and you don't know how to put together a solid sports nutrition plan for yourself so that you can get away from all these things and you can actually boost your energy levels, I want you to sign up for a free, no obligation consultation with me, which is just a phone call or a video call where we can discuss what your goals are, what your barriers are, where you currently stand, and I can recommend what would work best for you and get you started. I'll drop the link below for you. Hey friend, if this podcast inspired you, encouraged you, or changed you, I would love for you to leave me a review and share it with a girlfriend who will find it helpful or inspiring. That is the best way you can thank me and help me share my knowledge so I can help more people just like you. I'm so thankful that you spent this time with me today, and I'd love to connect with you. Join my Facebook group, Female Sports Nutrition, or send me a DM on Instagram, or hop on over to my website, elitenutritionperformance.com. I'll see you back here next week.